Guys, I can assure you that this is the only video in the internet that's going to show you how to start your yogurt business from start to finish with no fail. So make sure you watch this video to the very end.
Of milk. So for 2 kg of milk, you are using 10 liters of water, and you're going to take some portion of the water and thoroughly you're going to mix this water together with the milk, because I don't want to use the whole water, because if I add the whole water it might have lumps, and I don't want lumps inside the milk. So that's why I'm trying to dissolve it in a little portion of the water before I pour it in the remaining water. So trying to be careful not to spill. So this is it. So I'm going to mix it together here.
The next part of this process is to add your milk mixture to the rest of your water on heat, and let the heat be on medium heat, guys. It shouldn't be on high or on low, because when it's too high your milk starts to burn under, and you don't want that, because the smell is just going to enter into your milk. You don't want that. And don't allow it to be on low, because when it's on low it's going to take a longer time for it to start to steam up, and that's not what you want. You want to maximize your time so that you can supply the same day. So what you're going to be doing, every 2-3 minutes you're going to come and turn your milk. Every 3 minutes come and turn your milk. And the mistake that most people make is to assume that it's going to take time for it to boil now or to steam up now. They get distracted and start doing other things, and before they know, their milk is burning. You don't want that, or it's boiling. You don't want that. So make sure you concentrate solely on looking after this milk. Okay, treat it like your baby, because if you want adequate results, make sure you are always turning this milk. It's going to make it to marinate together. So as soon as you notice steam coming out, just know that it's ready. As soon as you notice steam coming out, I'm not saying that you should now be turning it every single time so that you don't even know when the actual steam is coming out. Okay, as soon as it's coming out, or you can even fetch some of the milk on your palm. If it's very hot, just know that it's ready, so you don't have to wait for it to start to boil. You get? So you see how I'm turning it. The more you turn it, the better your milk is going to come out.
So guys, this after it has been boiled, like I said, you're not going to allow it to start boiling before you turn off the heat, and make sure you're always turning it every 5 minutes. So I kind of sieve it with this sieving cloth in case there's some debris in the milk itself. So this is going to take it out. So this is after approximately within the period of 15 minutes. That's when I boil this, within the period of 15 minutes, and every 5 minutes I was turning it. Or you can make it every 3 minutes just to be sure, because you don't want your milk to boil or to burn under, because sometimes when it overboils it starts burning under, and the smell of the burns can enter into the milk, and you don't want that. So we are going to allow this stay for 2 hours. You're going to allow this cool down to 2 hours. That will be the temperature that will be suitable for fermentation to occur. I don't have an oven, but if you have an oven, you can just improvise and use an oven. You're going to allow the fermentation to happen in an oven. Mind you, you're not turning on the oven. The oven is turned off. You just need a cozy environment. You can wrap your container up and put it in an oven, because it's cozy there. You're not on the oven. I repeat, you're not on the oven, and you're going to allow it. But if you don't have an oven, just look for an airtight container, wrap it up with your towel, as much wrapper as you have, wrap it up. But what I usually do for this one is that I'm going to boil water inside a warmer that can fit this container. So when I boil the hot water inside the warmer, and I'm just going to take this after 2 hours and put it inside the warmer, because the warmer is already hot, because it has already created that environment, that cozy environment itself. And the warmer also is inside a big bucket. So you can see, all I'm just trying to say is that make sure you provide a cozy environment where the fermentation can happen. And again, when your yogurt don't form, there's something you can do. Sometimes when your yogurt doesn't form, you panic, and that's what makes you to even ruin the yogurt itself. But whenever you are trying to make your yogurt and your yogurt didn't form, don't panic. There is still hope for you to restore that yogurt, and you have to stick to this video to the very end to see what you can do if you're trying to make a yogurt and it almost failed. Another thing I need you to understand is that whenever you take your culture from your previous yogurt, make sure you store it in the fridge. Make sure you store it in the fridge so that you can use it for your next yogurts, because culture means yogurt from the last batch that you store without sugar,
with no flavor, just plain yogurt that you store for the next batch. That is your culture. So sometimes when they say culture, some people think it's something like, I don't know, mysterious. So this is the culture from the last one. Because it's in the fridge, I had to put it close to this yogurt so that it can heat up.
So guys, this is like 2 hours now that this milk has been cooling down. So you're going to remove this cloth on top. So guys, what we are going to do, I'm just going to take some out of this milk. I'm just going to like take like some part of it. And what I'm going to do, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm going to measure 2 cups of the culture. That is the yogurt from the previous one. I'm sorry guys. So I'm going to measure 2 cups of it because our milk is like 2 mudu. That's 2 kg. So that's what I'm measuring 2. But if it's like 1 mudu or 1 kg, you can measure one cup of your culture. So the culture outside might be cold, so you adding the culture directly on the warm milk, it might just disrupt the temperature within the milk. So that's why it's advisable that you measure it in a bowl like this and add your culture to the one in the bowl. And I don't usually turn it though, so I just put it at the edge of it. So I'm just going to pour everything at the edge. I'm just going to pour everything at the edge. You can see that I'm not turning it because I just want the thickness and the culture to not be, broken inside. You're going to put a cling film over it. Make sure it's properly covered. Make sure it's properly sealed. This is to trap the heat within the milk. So you're going to put the lid on. Meanwhile, I've already added hot water into the warmer. And I'm going to add cloth to cover it. Just make sure that you just cover it. Cover it anyhow you can. The warmest part of your house. If you know that your floor is cold, don't put it directly on the floor because we are in rainy season now and the floor could be very cold. So we're going to allow this sit for 4 to 6 hours. And what I advise is that on the 4th hour, I would advise you to go and check. Because sometimes on the 4th hour, your yogurt is already thickened already. So you don't need to leave it, because if you leave it further, it's going to start getting sour. But if you go and check it on the 4th hour and you notice that it has not yet formed, allow it to stay for another 1 or 2 hours. But don't just say, oh no, it's going to be 6 hours, and then you just wait. See, that 6 hours, at that 6 hours, the thing has become too fermented and it's going to have that sour taste.
So guys, this is after 5 hours now. Yogurt is ready. And if you want your yogurt to be thicker than this, you can leave it longer. But the issue is that when you leave it longer, it's going to have sour taste.
One important thing you need to do before adding any sweetener to your yogurt is to fetch your culture out against the next batch. This is Emma coconut powder. So I'm sure you can get it in your local store. So I'm going to add this yogurt to the, I don't know if you can see it. So I'm adding the yogurt to the coconut powder. I'm going to mix it up together. The coconut powder that I've mixed with the yogurt, I'm pouring it in. We're going to be adding 2 cups of condensed milk. Right, guys, so this is the 2nd cup of the condensed milk going in. So we're going to add 3 cups of sugar. Mind you, we added 2 cups of condensed milk and 3 cups of sugar. And I'll advise you to test the yogurt. If your yogurt ends up becoming too sour, add an extra 1 cup to it. If it's just too sour, add another extra 1 cup. So it could be 5 cups, but majorly it's going to be like 3 to 5 cups of sugar. This is the coconut chips that I made, so I'm adding it in. These are toasted coconuts. So just mix it together. Mind you, this yogurt is very, very hot at this point. So when it cools down, it's going to be thicker than this. So we've added our coconut, our condensed milk, and our Emma coconut powder and the coconut chips. Your coconut yogurt is ready. And so guys, that's all you need to know about making your coconut yogurt and supplying it to the nearest store around you or to a bar and restaurant. It's as easy as this. And for mine, I just added 7 days shelf life, depending on how lasting you think your yogurt is going to be. And your way of appreciating this video is by liking and subscribing to this channel. Hit the notification bell for more videos like this, because we make videos like this every other time. Bye.